See, I love my coffee, and I'm wondering whether everybody else takes coffee. And if they do, how do they take coffee? Because instant coffee is the worst kind of coffee. And this is probably best sustainable long term. You buy fresh, although it's not fresh, ground coffee. And you put that ground coffee in the center, water in the bottom, and the coffee will come on the top. So the steam from here will go through the ground coffee and extract the caffeine and come up. This is obviously inferior to the proper coffee machine that you see in coffee shops, but it is superior to cafetiere, in which you put the coffee at the bottom, pour water and press it down the sieve and pour it. So this is superior to that. However, I recently bought an AeroPress, which is this. So this actually works like the cafetiere, but it is more airtight and apparently it extracts more coffee. This is an AeroPress Go, so you can carry it. You got the filters. This is the filter box, and everything that you need is inside, and this will double up as a coffee cup. Now, coffee is kind of medicine because caffeine blocks the fatigue molecule adenosine receptors in the brain, so that if you drink coffee in the morning and block all those receptors, then although your brain is getting fatigued with adenosine as you're working and working and working, the brain will not perceive the fatigue because caffeine has blocked it. So this is one of the mechanism how caffeine works. Also, caffeine does other stuff like charging your sympathetic system, so give you a little bit of extra push in the beginning of the day, because in rest and digest you're sleeping parasympathetic, but you don't want to wake up in that state. Same stuff with tea. Tea has also got caffeine in it, but not as much as coffee has got. Coffee has got other properties, like coffee will shift your bad white fat into more good brown fat, which is a thermogenic engine, like a lot of mitochondria. Now, when I do coffee in the morning, the first cup, I put a tablespoonful of ghee, which is highly concentrated butter, because it is one of the richest source of vitamin K2, butter. And what K2 does, it prevents artery calcification. Osteocalcin is the biologic molecule that it interacts with. Now, most people knows vitamin K as a coagulation helper. So if you don't have vitamin K, that we see in patients with obstructive jaundice, they cannot absorb vitamin K, and as a result their blood becomes very thin, they bleed easily. So vitamin K, everybody knows about that, but vitamin K2, so there's K1, K2, K3. K2, on the other hand, is very important for bone cartilage mineral health. So arterial hardening, arterial calcification, particularly if you're taking a dose of vitamin D, as a result your calcium level will go up, and you don't parallelly take K2, that high calcium will be unable to properly utilize into bone, and it will rather deposit into the arteries, making the arteries very stiff. So the other thing that is very rich in K2 is natto, fermented soya product, or liver pate, or a liver of an animal. So enjoy your morning cup of coffee. As I drink this coffee, I normally reflect on my yesterday and plan my today. Ideally, I should have done it last night. I'm in the planning for today, but that's what I do. Enjoy. Oh, by the way, I wanted to show you this book. If you love your coffee, and if you want to know, this is 2019 from Brighton. If you want to know the difference between cortado, which very few people know what is it, it's one of my favorite coffee drink, or macchiato, or americano. It says, explains exactly what is the difference, how much espresso and how much hot water. This probably nobody ever served. Red eye. So can you see? It's a mixture between brewed coffee and espresso coffee. Espresso is the building block. Anyway, and there's some devices like siphon, pour over, then the French press. This is very common. I call this cafetiere. Stovetop, that's my favorite. That's the stovetop. That's here. Cold brew, which I don't do. So there's so many different things. Now this is gone into the Vienna coffee and all that stuff. Yeah, so read this book if you're a coffee lover. Have a nice day.